The Leah Renee Podcast.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, guess what? There's stuff you can do to make it not be so awful.
We going on Drax. Sclounce.
I have a crush on every
A low
boy.
point of my life. I mean, things were bad.
You're a nut job. You're eating bugs.
Hi, I'm here with Cathy Nesbitt. I'm so excited. I just found out she's Canadian, which is exciting. I don't know how much we'll talk about Canada, but we are going to talk about worms. I've just met Cathy. I don't know anything about worms other than the basic knowledge. You know, you can cut them in half and then they regenerate. They
Not true.
eat. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into it. Cathy, well, I mean, any way that you want to start. I started with a lie. Okay, this is why you're here. There's so much misunderstanding about worms. So
Busting myths. That's why I'm here.
You can go ahead and bust that myth right now.
I love
that's
that
not
we
true?
start with, let's start with that because it's the 24th anniversary of Cathy's Crawly Composters, selling worms by the pound for indoor composting.
Okay.
And I speak a lot, and almost every time I present, somebody says, oh, did you know you could cut a worm in half and have two worms?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I do squirrel workshops, so I say, let's delve into this. If we cut a worm in half, do we have two worms? Everyone says, yes. And then I say, okay, second part of the question, if we cut a worm in half, do we have two live worms? Then it's interesting. Then it's like, oh, they pause. Some of them are like, yes. Some are like, no. Some are like, oh, unsure. They have 5 hearts each.
Oh.
And all of, right? Here we go. Don't you love them a little more now?
I do. I'm like, how come the Valentine industry hasn't picked up on this? 5 hearts. I mean, there's a lot of worm hate out there. Okay, sorry. Keep
There's
going.
a lot of worm hate, and that's why they have 5 hearts, because, so we can, I think, okay, so I'll finish that story before I launch into another one. Or maybe I won't. I will just wiggle around like worms. The swollen band on the worm? Mm-hmm. Like yeah. So
Didn't know that's what it was called, but yeah.
It's
the
literally
turtleneck,
called the clitellum. It's the clitellum.
Is that?
Yeah.
That sounds like something else.
It is. It is. That's where their sexual organs are.
Oh, now I feel like a pervert. Oh, gross. I've been beating off worms and not even knowing it. Oh, God. Sorry.
So
Ooh, okay.
So that piece is closest to the head. Both ends look the same. That when you see a worm that has the swollen band, they're adult worms then. And so if you cut a worm in half, they only have one head, one tail. If a worm gets cut in half, one piece will regenerate. So you were right. It will regrow. But that other piece that didn't have the head will die.
Okay, and the head is next to its clit.
Correct. Here's a super cool thing about worms is they're hermaphrodites, male and female at the same time. And here's super duper cool. They are simultaneous hermaphrodites, meaning they mate a lot. They eat poop and mate like it's a worm's life, really. If a worm...
That sounds like most comics in Philly. Sorry. Do they smoke weed too?
They don't need that.
Oh,
there's no time for that.
No time. Okay.
No time for time. So if they're going to mate, the guy's arriving, if it's the male that's arriving, and this is the male, this male turns into a female. So they can
it's
still
like
mate.
Ursula Le Guin's, I read it a couple of years ago, but they can like switch genders, but they just gender bend based on who joins them.
Who's arriving, yeah.
Do they, that's interesting. Is it ever like, what if they both switch? You know, when you're walking on the street and you're like, you go, no, you. It's like, I'll be male. I mean, you be, or whatever. Like, they have to make a choice. Do they just rock, paper, scissors? They're like, I get to be the dude this time.
I don't think there's that much thought that goes into it, but yes, absolutely.
They don't have 5 brains, just 5 hearts. That's a
Right.
lot of love to give. Yeah, I mean, they're both genders. Love is love. They can love anybody. They can just...
That's it. What a great message, right?
That's right. Yeah, we can learn so much from worms. So they are both genders at any given time. They hook up. This sounds gross. I sound like a pervert. One time I saw snakes mating and they wrapped around each other. It looked like a rope. Is that... How do worms do it?
Yeah, so the swollen band, the necklace.
Is an
we call it the
amazing
necklace
name.
in schools.
The necklace. Okay.
So kind of just like us.
Just the necktie that they just touch
Correct.
each other.
And
Okay.
and they wrap together and they stay together for like hours.
For real.
For real. And then they separate. And I do a lot of school workshops. We have public and Catholic school in Canada. I don't know how it
They
is
don't
in the
let you call
States.
it a clit swollen band. That's
Oh,
when you
I
call
don't.
it.
Yeah, I just say swollen band or the necklace or whatever it is, so they
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. But the kids always want to know how animals do it. So
Of course.
in Catholic school, they'll be like, "Oh, how do worms do it?" And I look at the teacher like, "Oh, can I tell them?"
Do they say how do worms do it? Do they
Yeah.
say that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
and the teacher's
they
not
put-
like, huh, wow, that's a pretty plucky Catholic kid to even have the question. It seems like that's something they would just Google by themselves. So
No,
do you
they-
get the
they-
nod from the Reverend Mother or whomever is there?
Yes, sort of, and I'm cautious, right, what I'm saying, especially if it's grade 2 or whatever. But I do have
Yeah.
a puppet, like a big giant worm puppet with the swollen
Oh.
band, and so I say here da da do and da da dee, and and then I
So
say
you're
that
like,
they're
they just
hermaph-
kiss. They just kiss. They just mwah,
That's
for
right.
hours. Mwah.
and then they have cocoons or eggs, and the egg comes from that swollen band. It secretes a substance, and then the worm kind of backs out of it, and then there's a cocoon, and it drops in the soil. And one day, this young boy said, "So when the eggs are laid, are the parents hanging around? Like, are they there?" And I say, "Well, all the soil critters take care of the eggs."
Oh.
And he said, "This
It
young
takes a
boy
village.
said, right? This young boy said, 'Oh, my mom would have been so sad if she wasn't there when I hatched.'"
Oh, that's so adorable. Kids come
I know.
up
I
with
was like,
some
"Oh my God, I got to write
amazing-
that down. That's hilarious."
Yeah, that is so cute. Well, do other things eat it? I mean, that's like the main thing. A lot of animals that lay big piles of eggs or hatch a bunch of babies or whatever at the same time, a lot of it's usually chicken nuggets for others. So do things eat the eggs?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Centipedes, like small critters, because the eggs are about the size of a sesame seed.
Oh, okay. How many
But
do
up to
they
tw-
lay at once?
Just one, but they both do, so they both become pregnant. What a cool system.
Whoa, I have a whole new Edinburgh Fringe hour. That is so crazy. But that doesn't seem that efficient to mate for hours and only get 2 babies out of it. But they're pretty
2
prolific.
eggs.
Or-
2
oh,
eggs, up to 20
two.
babies in each egg.
Oh, okay.
5 or 6 is average.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. I was like, dang, that doesn't seem that economical. But I guess if you're switching genders all the time and hooking up with anyone that you want, it starts to add up over time.
Yeah, they create
Okay.
an egg about every 7 days. So
So
each
the
adult
sesame
worm.
seed size thing has potentially 20 babies
5
inside
or
of
6
that.
is average. 5 or 6 is average.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Interesting.
But both, right? Times 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. Well, several times people have asked, how many worms can one worm produce in a year? So I gave them, I said, here's the formula. When you figure it out in a few years, send me a note.
Yeah, you could get your master's degree in worm population,
Yeah.
which my guess would be is declining like everything else, all the other biodiversity. My guess is that we're probably short on worms. Is that part of the education that you do? Are they like bees or coral reefs? Are they a species that's on the decline? Are they like roaches that can survive a nuclear blast and are still going to be around no matter what kind of garbage they have to eat and wade through? How resilient are worms to what we've been doing?
Yeah, they're pretty resilient, but I think that worms are the canary of the soil. The canary in the coal mine, this canary in the soil. In that, when I was growing up, I grew up in the 60s. When after a rainy day, the sidewalk was covered with worms. The driveway there was like it was like, yeah, ew. And now there's hardly any.
Yeah.
We don't have that. I mean, not at least where I'm living. There's not a whole whack of worms after a rain. So that's, to me, a very sad indication. Worms are the
Yeah.
soil makers.
From what I remember, they go through the soil and they like put dirt in their mouth, go through it, and then it passes through their body. And then their poop is like good dirt that you can plant stuff in. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or is that another myth?
No, that's true. So they do eat organic matter in the soil. They take heavy metals, they take toxins out of the soil, and somehow it gets stored in their bodies. I don't know how. They've used worms for remediating soil. There was a place in India where one of the textile plants had been dumping their wastewater on the land. The land was toxic. They added in red wiggler worms, and the worms cleaned up that soil. Now I don't know what the timeline was, but the worms cleaned up the soil. Now those worms are toxic because they've absorbed all that
Oh,
crap.
dang. So if a worm is toxic, is it just it sucks for the worm, or do you have to dispose of them because they're like nuclear waste or something? I mean, is it just they're going to get cancer and have like a crummy rest of their life, or are they going to contaminate other things?
I would say they're not going to contaminate other things. It's that they've absorbed those properties that were in the soil, and now those toxic things are in their body.
But does
They
it
don't
affect them?
Probably. Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. We can't really
Yeah.
ask them, I guess.
Yeah.
So they become like the sacrificial worm,
Correct.
basically. Can you physically see a difference in them when they're toxic? Do they like turn pale, or they can't like wiggle around? It shortens their lifespan.
There are things if there's toxic stuff in the worm bin, or something kind of gets caught in their throat. What is it that chickens have?
Beaks?
Like
A crop?
Yeah,
A crop?
Yes, thank you. They have a crop like a chicken, so they kind of can grind food a little bit. They don't have teeth or anything. If something gets stuck in there, then yeah, they it's like they choke and they swell. It's really awful to experience. Yeah.
So, okay, you bring up, did you say worm bin? Like if they choke on something. So is this like composting worms? That's a big thing that you do.
Yes.
So using worms to compost, explain that. I'm just like imagining a bucket by my sink with worms and dirt in it, and then I see myself throwing a moldy red pepper away, and then an earthworm deep throating it and like and then die. I'm like, okay, how does this work? How does composting with worms work for people?
Yeah, so same idea as outdoor composting. You need a carbon nitrogen mix. This is done inside, so any container will do. A Rubbermaid, a bucket is fine. The worms are surface dwellers, so you don't need a deep bucket, but more wide, more surface area. The carbon that we use is shredded paper, could be leaves, straw, cardboard, any of that kind of material. And then nitrogen, so your food scraps from the kitchen, right? The moldy red pepper, potato peels, banana peels, apple cores, etc. The worms require both. They eat it all, and then they turn what we call garbage into black gold, nutrient-rich fertilizer.
Wow. So you get a bucket. You get, how many worms would you put in? You sell them by the pound, is that right?
By the pound, yeah.
Okay.
800 to 1,000 worms in a pound.
Wow. Okay.
That's a lot of hearts.
Yeah, wow. That's and everybody changing gender all the time. That's a nightclub right there.
It's a party.
So you get a bucket. Do you just put the worms directly into the bucket and then start putting paper in, or you start with a liner at the bottom? How would somebody get started in worming?
Yeah, you create your environment first. So your shredded paper, a little bit of soil, a scoop of soil, and soil where no chemicals have been applied, and not potting soil, because potting soil is sterilized.
Oh, okay.
You know,
where
there's so many
would you
things.
find soil? I'm gonna do this, is what I'm saying. I'm very interested because I live in a city, and I'm sure the soil in my backyard has lots of toxins in it. So yes, sorry. I'm curious about this for me starting it. Where would someone like me who lives in a city find clean soil if I can't get potting soil? I guess you just order organic soil online? Where do you find it?
I would just go somewhere outside, because you're adding the soil for the grit and for the microorganisms that are in the soil, which is why you can't use something in a plastic bag.
Okay.
Like people spend a whack a dough on organic fertilizer, but if it's in a, like even composted manure or anything like that, if it's in a plastic bag, it's pretty much dead, depending how long it's been in there. Because there's no life, right? It's aerobic, meaning with oxygen. If it's in a sealed bag, there's no oxygen. The organisms will eat the oxygen.
So would the soil in my backyard work?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as you haven't, sprayed lots of chemicals.
Yeah, we don't.
You're fine.
F with that. Yeah, no Monsanto home over here.
Right? Yeah, so that's all you need, just from your backyard is perfect.
Okay, so a scoop of real soil with stuff that could make you sick, real bacteria, real life going on in it.
Yeah.
And then shredded paper, shredded cardboard.
Paper.
You mix it up
cardboard.
Before you put the worms, or do you do
mix
it in
up.
levels? Okay.
No, you mix it together, and it has to be moist. So you're bedding cardboard, paper, a little bit of soil, eggshells. The worms require the calcium for reproduction.
Oh, okay.
I know, so fun, and it helps to balance.
It's such a good. Okay, coffee grounds.
Yes, coffee grounds are great.
I always feel badly when I throw away eggshells. The Martha Stewart in me is like, I could make a craft out of this. Like, it's such an interesting material that I'm like, surely I could use this for something. Same thing with coffee grounds. I just switched to instant coffee because I hated doing the French press. And then what do I do with these coffee grounds, eggshells? Is there anything that you can't put in there that would be toxic for them? Like bacon grease or something? Like what are they going to choke on?
Yeah, so no meat.
No meat. Okay.
Not that they're vegetarian. They eat people when we die, but
Thank you, worms. Thank you for your service.
for cleaning up.
Famously.
Right,
Yeah.
but you don't want to add meat because the meat will rot faster than the worms can keep up with it. So
Yeah,
no meat,
and the
no
smell.
dairy. And the smell,
Okay.
right? It's aerobic process. So no meat, no dairy, no sauces. And of the fruit and vegetables, I would say no garlic and onion peels and no citrus.
Oh,
And
interesting.
citrus,
Okay.
yeah, citrus because we make a chemical cleaner out of orange peels.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it just too acidic? It's too, like it ruins the pH of the soil? Is that why?
Partially, and there's antibacterial, antifungal, anti all kinds of stuff in citrus peels, which is why we can make those chemical fertilizers or cleaners.
Okay.
So you leave
That's so
those out because
interesting.
it's pro-bacteria. It's not antibacterial. It's all kinds of life. There's so
Yeah.
much life in a worm bin. It's beautiful.
So how did you get into this? Were you like the worm kid? Did you have pockets
No.
full of worms, or how
No.
did you get started with worms, Kathy? That's insane.
No, my mom
and
was.
interesting.
Thank you. My mom was like Mrs. Sarnicki. Do you remember the Lysol commercials? I don't know if you're. Okay, never mind.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe it was a Canada
Maybe it was a Canadian
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beachcombers. I mean, yeah.
So our house was hospital clean. There was no dirt in our house. Yeah, no, I'm not exactly sure how I became this rabid environmentalist, but I am. And it was food waste. I just saw food waste everywhere. I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto. And in 2002, the landfill for the Greater Toronto area closed. It filled up. The landfill filled. Imagine. And Canada is second largest country in the world. And we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. So sorry about this, but we started to export our garbage to Michigan.
That's insane. What?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not like, how dare you? Of like, we do a great job of ruining our own, our own front yard. It just seems like it would be more expensive and difficult than Canada, which has such a huge landmass and like kind of frozen tundra stuff. What was the advantage of sending it to Michigan? We probably have more lenient garbage laws, would be my guess.
Here's the thing. Michigan is the trash capital of the states. It used to be the automotive capital, right? Ford, Chrysler, GM all had their headquarters in Detroit.
Yeah.
And now everybody makes cars. We even make cars in Canada. So they needed to find a new industry. I mean, I'm sarcastic. I joke a lot because otherwise I'd be crying in the corner with the stuff
it's crazy because I know people from Michigan and they talk about how beautiful it is and the lakes and especially going up in the top. I've never, for all the conversations that I've heard about trash stuff and how like when you recycle, it actually doesn't get recycled, like that we used to ship it to China and they would reuse the plastics, but now that's too expensive. So we just, dump it in the ocean. I know they have Mount Trashmore, which was a landfill pile. And then they covered these mounds of trash with a lot of soil. And it actually became a great recreation area. I know that's like, well, underneath it is all this toxic waste. But if you bury it enough, does it, not eventually get sorted, but does it not pose a risk or a threat? Because it's actually an extremely popular place to go. Became like a really great recreational area. And again, I'm not an environmentalist. I don't know the risk benefit to making literally mountains of trash and then covering them. But it seems to be a big hit, especially if you look in the middle of the country where everything's flat. It's like, hey, you could have a ski lodge, a trash mountain. I sound like a terrible person. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with garbage. Should we shoot it into space? Like, obviously the ocean's not a good idea because people aren't slowing down on their consumption. And I don't know that in our mega capitalist society that we're going to slow that down. I'm sorry, I know that you're into worms, but you also mentioned environmentalism. What options do we even have for trash?
I don't know about Michigan, though. They became the trash capital because they have the lowest tipping fees, which are the rates that you pay at landfill. Right? So New York, like all surrounding states, send their garbage to Michigan, but it's the source separated, all beautiful, clean garbage from Canada that was causing a lot of trouble. Like, what? We import garbage? But know that those garbage trucks, almost 1,000 trucks a week, by the way. It's not happening now. We found a place, luckily. And how it all, it's because the government is so short-sighted. They don't have wherewithal. They have their 3 or 4 year window. Like, oh, how can I make a name for myself? They're not thinking about 7 generations ahead, or they're not thinking about after their term. So how do I make a name, right? So what do? They got to wipe out all the stuff that the last people put in because, now they got to make their own name.
Yeah, short-term gains.
Short term, and it's not Canada, the state, it's probably all governments. So there was our landfill filling up, but they're like, oh, we had room for today's trash, we don't have to worry about that today. And then when it filled up, it's like, holy crap, what do we do now? And the solution was, okay, nobody wants it, so we'll ship it to Michigan because they want it. It's trash for cash, right? Our government gets to say, oh, sorry folks, there's no money for education or healthcare. I know we have healthcare, but do we? So it's like, oh, there goes your money, we sent it to Michigan.
I know we're not either one of us experts on trash stuff, but is one of the main problems the biodegradable waste that gets mixed in with the plastic? So is that where worms could come in? Like if people separated their composting stuff from their regular garbage, could worms take care of basically the smelly, rotty stuff so that the garbage that we put out was, I guess, like dry garbage that maybe is easier to squeeze into cubes? Or I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but I'm just trying to figure out what solutions we have. And it sounds like worms are great at taking care of smelly junk, which is like the worst part of garbage.
Right? Potentially. Yes, potentially. Except it's dependent on the individual. So we know that the recycling program is contaminated because maybe in your area you can put styrofoam, but in another area you can't. So if somebody moves from your area to that area and they don't accept it in the new area, I've heard people say this, they accepted it where I used to live, so I'm going to throw it in because I'm used to throwing it in. And they can pick it out. It's like they can't freaking pick it out because there's tons of trash. They're not like, oh styrofoam. They eyeball it. They eyeball it and they go, like they dump it on the floor. They eyeball it. If it's too contaminated, that whole load gets landfilled. Nobody's picking anything. So the challenge with organic matter is we've got a composting program that's a municipal program. So we separate our organics. The challenge is that if people don't want to go to the household hazardous waste to put their old paint or their batteries, they're like, oh, I'm going to throw them in the green bin. So now the green bin is highly toxic. It's so contaminated. It would kill worms, right? Battery acid or whatever.
I see the main practical benefit for changing it one person at a time would be normalizing a worm bin, having that in your house, and then gardening and using that so that you have better success in the food or flowers or whatever you're growing in your backyard. I mean, from my perspective of you explaining it, because we have a little patch of garden in the back and we've talked about what to grow back there and will it grow, but knowing that, we have really, really nice soil. Let's go ahead and try to grow blueberries or tomatoes or kale, or we have a better shot at this because we're not that great at gardening. So to know that you have black gold at your disposal and you have a way to get rid of yucky, stinky trash that you don't like seems like a pretty easy gateway activity for people that want to do more for the environment and feel frustrated that they know that their recyclables are getting thrown out and their trash is being shipped to other states or countries. It seems like an actual win that you would have, that you could actually see. What kind of success have people had with having worms in their house and then putting them in the back garden? What are some testimonials that people have of doing this, or what are success stories and things to avoid or remember when you get going in this?
I think the number one thing is the feel good part. We know we have this crisis. I mean, some people are like, oh, there's no such thing as climate change and whatever. We're not any part of that. That's fine, whatever you want to believe. But food waste is really a contributor. We throw away so much food, and a lot of it just rots in the field, first of all. Like with farming, there's a problem, and then transportation and our global system. Like there's really so many. So the number one thing is the feel good factor. Like, I'm doing my part. And that's exactly my model is every house having worms, every school, every classroom, every business, every community center, wherever there's a recycling bin, there's a worm bin. That was my goal 24 years ago when I started. Right? Like just that's how it's so common that we're like, oh, where's the worm bin? I got my apple core. And we just toss
Yeah.
it in. The challenge is worms. I have a psych degree, so I'm fascinated by people. And when I started my business, I would have a table wherever I could, educating people. And people would come up close. And even though I had a worm on my shirt and worm earrings, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing here? And when I talked about worm composting, they're like, oh, worms in the house? Because this is indoor composting. Right? In Canada, we can't do it outside. The worms will be frozen, like wormsicles. And in
Yeah.
Texas, it's too hot in the summer. So indoors perfect. Or cottage country, you don't want to attract bears or coyotes or anything. So indoor. People are like, what about rats and mice? I'm like, well, if you have them in your house, you got a bigger problem than having worms.
Yeah.
Just saying. Right? So
Worms
it's the
never
worm.
gave nobody hantavirus. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the number one is the feel good factor, and their garbage doesn't smell anymore. It's lighter. And you asked about how I got into my business. 6 million people in the greater Toronto area, half live in condos, townhouses, places without space to do outdoor composting. They don't even have an option. So in come the worms. And then 2002, we had a garbage strike in the summer. So right? So mountains
Yeah.
of stinky trash. No one's coming. Like it's not Touristville when there's a garbage strike. No. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have a solution. So I'm watching the news in 2002 and people were lining up for hours to drop off their garbage. I'm like, man, those people don't compost. Because if you compost, it takes the stink out of garbage. So I decided I'd go on a road trip with my worms. And
You got to be
still
out
gotta
in
go
these
get 'em.
streets. Yeah.
You got to go get them still. You got to go talk to people and hand out cards and be a hustler. So I would go to networking. I love networking. So I'd be talking about my business. Then I'd be like, oh, do you need a website? Oh, here's my husband's card. So I'm like hustling two businesses. What do you need? I got it. And then 5 years in, I was like getting kind of exhausted. Like, oh, this isn't working. We had a little chat. I was like, something has to change. Either you got to get a job or you have to join me full time. And so he was like, okay, I'll join you. Then I became his only customer and our business grew, Leah. It was so great because once we joined forces, now we're more focused on what are we doing. And yeah, so and it worked out beautifully. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great that you're able to do it full time and make such a big difference and change one or five hearts at a time. Sorry, 5-heart joke callback. When you talk about getting pushback, the only pushback that I can really see against worms is I don't want a dirty bucket in my house with worms, or ew, worms are gross, they're creepy crawly. Do worms have any negative press or reasons people wouldn't want them that I don't know about, other than maybe that stint in the 80s where there were a lot of sandworms in movies like Tremors and Dune and Beetlejuice and stuff? I mean, that was not good for the worm lobby. That was a worm PR nightmare, maybe getting people to convert. But are there any downsides or misconceptions that people have about worms other than they're slimy and gross, according to some people, and you'd have to have a smelly bucket in your house? Have they ever carried leprosy or something? Like, why wouldn't somebody like worms other than getting over having dirt and bugs near you?
Yeah, so no, worms don't transmit any disease. They don't cause any trouble. But people may have been traumatized as children by worms. After a rainy day, somebody chased them around, someone put a worm in their shirt, or a fishing incident, the green goo.
Oh.
So if you were
What's the green goo?
traumatized-
Wait, what's the green goo?
I think it's like a stress thing. When worms get stressed, they secrete this, and I think it tastes awful. I don't know, but so if it's
Oh.
stress, then if a bird or something goes to eat it, it might taste like off. So they may not get eaten.
Okay.
So if you were traumatized as a child by worms, you're not looking
Okay.
to that as an adult for a solution. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of it's just psychological. It's like,
Yeah.
spiders or snakes or whatever. Most spiders and snakes are not harmful, but
Yeah.
we're kind of afraid of them all.
But because there's a couple of them that are, spiders might be a great solution to having flies in your house, but we've shamed spiders for having webs. And do you have a favorite type of worm? Like you talked about the one in India. What did you call it? A red wiggler or something?
Yeah, red wigglers. Red
Okay.
wigglers are the premium composting worm.
Okay. They're like
Like
the
they
gold
eat half
star.
their weight. They eat half their weight per day in food scraps. Like phenomenal.
Whoa.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay. So because they're so good at it, nobody really considers the other kind of worms because they're like bougie art worms. They're artisanal, like they might have fancy stripes, but they only eat a quarter of their body weight every day. Or do people ever get kind of luxury worms just because they fancy the way they look? Is there a version of poodles in the worm world of?
There are thousands of types of worms. Only 4 have been identified for vermicomposting because we're looking for surface dwellers. That's why. Yeah.
Okay. So 4 different types of surface dwelling worms, and you just sell the red wigglers. Is that right? Or do you switch it up?
I sell red wigglers and European night crawlers. And it's hilarious because, it's just it's like, it really is a comedy skit. And I am working on a stand-up show because I have 20 years of material from worm. Because worm is a bad word, like a computer virus is often a worm, a tapeworm, right? Worm just
calling someone a worm, that they're a coward,
right?
Or wriggle like a worm on a hook. Yeah, can of worms. Yeah,
can of worms, right? I'm trying to change that when people go, "Oh, now you've opened a can of worms." I go, "Yay, can of worms!" I know it's a bad thing, but yay, can of worms.
Yeah, I'm like, where did that even come from? Why would somebody put worms in? Because opening a can of worms, it insinuates that the can is sealed, that it's not an empty can that somebody's composting. Yeah, you're basically trying to normalize can of worms. You're like, yes, I want everyone to open a can. I want everyone to have a giant number 10 can on their countertop and have a can of worms in there.
Right?
Yeah.
So I had it's hilarious. So I have people, they pick up worms. I don't have a storefront. They come to my house. And it's not gender. It's not women or men like worms better. It isn't. Like people think, oh, little boys love worms and little girls don't. It's not that at all. So I have people arrive, and if a couple comes, the one that's excited about gardening or the worms or whatever, they're all in. They're all shitty, and they're like, the puppy wagging their tail, and the other one's got their hand on the door, and they're like, yeah, I just supported
come on, let's go.
Spouse, yeah. So I talk to the one that's trying to escape, and I go, can you smell anything? No. Good. I've got 3 worm bins in my kitchen. Okay. And then I say, come and have a look. And I kind of ease them into it. Okay, this is what you're in for. Like it's nothing. It's fine. And they're going to do it anyway. So you don't have to worry about anything. So one day I had a guy arrive, and he's like, oh, I've been following you for years. Okay. Creepy. Stalker.
Creepy crawly.
And he said, oh, my wife didn't want me, wouldn't let me have worms, but she's gone now. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, she's not dead.
Oh, gone instead of divorced. Yeah. I mean,
right. So now he can get his worm bin. So I said, oh, that's so great. Cause I said, I've been thinking about starting a dating site, like for those that like worms, the men and the women. Oh, let's get together. So I said, oh, so this will be great. Like, oh, you like worms. I like worms. Let's date. Okay, good. Now let's do it like worms. And then I said, oh, I have European night crawlers too. I've red wigglers and European night crawlers. And he's like, no, I just want red wigglers. I'm like, oh, another branch of my dating site. Are you exclusive or can we mix it up?
Yeah, there is no gender button on there. So instead of Tinder, you've got Wiggler is your new dating site.
Yeah.
We have learned a lot about worms, and I really like this conversation, but you're also a very chipper, happy person who has another interesting side hobby, or I wouldn't call it, worms aren't your side hobby. That's your bread and butter right there. But the other thing that you run is laughter yoga, which is the first time that I think it's the first time that I heard of laughter yoga. Do you want to say anything about that before we go? Because I think it's such a fascinating idea, how you got started, what is it like, etc. Anything that you want people to know about laughter yoga and benefits and stuff like that.
I actually want you to know as a comedian, because laughter yoga is not about jokes or comedy. So I said I was working on a stand-up show. So I'm like, I'm improv trained. I have taken a stand-up course, and I'm like, okay, but what if they still don't laugh at my jokes? So then laughter yoga is not about jokes or comedy. So I'm like, oh my God, now I've got the trifecta. I get them. I do laughter yoga first, get them laughing. Cause you go to a comedy club, you want to freaking laugh. If they're bad, it sucks. It's like, oh my gosh, we paid to laugh and you're not even funny. Okay. So you get them laughing first. They're warmed up with the laughter. If anyone heckles me, I'm improv trained, and then I can get on my thing. Okay. So laughter yoga started in 1995 by a medical doctor in India. His goal is world peace. Yes, please. No jokes or comedy, because jokes are cultural, right? Two people going somewhere, not funny for those two, probably about them. So there's little games to inspire the laughter. Ever heard that laughter is the best medicine?
Yes.
It's scientifically proven. When we're laughing, we're secreting dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. We feel good versus cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, the stress chemicals. And the most important piece for laughter is the oxygen. When we're stressed, blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe so it goes into our muscles so we can escape, even if we're escaping from our mind. Laughter encourages us, forces sound so harsh. It encourages us to breathe deep because we're exhaling, ha 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 ha. In order to keep on ha ha haing, we have to take a nice deep breath in to continue. And if you've had a good giggle, and I know you have, your stomach is sore, your ribs are sore, and your cheeks might hurt. Those are the laughter muscles. Unlike going to the gym, you don't have residual pain tomorrow. It's just today like that, right? I have rock
Just
hard
right
abs
after.
from laughing. Just right after, that's right. Yeah, it's so beautiful. So thank you for asking about laughter. I'm focused now on laughter wellness more than worms, because since the cuckoo time, since the cuckoo time when we were locked down, the whole world was shut down. Like, how do you torture people? Isolation. We were isolated, like the whole world was isolated. And some people, I'm sure you know some of them, are really struggling still, even though we're 6 years past the cuckoo time. Some people are still like have the residual fear, or I don't know what it was, and they're anxious. Like children today don't laugh as much as they used to because everything's so scary. So laughter just frees us. It brings us to the present. We're not even thinking when we're laughing. We're just right here, right now. Like maybe it's happened to you where you're laughing so hard you don't even remember your next joke or your next line, or I don't know. Yeah.
So how would a laughter yoga class start?
It's a cardiovascular workout. Yeah, so you
Okay.
start with so there's clapping. You're clapping palm to palm, so you're activating meridians, and there's scientific proof that this clapping, when we're clapping and clapping with a force, not just like polite clapping like we do in
golf
Canada.
clap.
Like, oh, so nice. The golf clap, yes.
Yeah.
Yay. It's like pretty hard. We're activating meridians, and the rhythm is 1 2 1 2 3. The words are ho ho ha ha ha. And when I came to laughter yoga, I thought, this is so random. What the heck? I don't need priming for laughter. But it for those that are in their head, that are like, oh, I can just laugh and feel better, and they're like this and what? Arms crossed, not smiling. Yes, you can, but you have to get out of your head. If you're thinking this is weird, you're in your head. Now you need to drop down into your body so you can feel it. The body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. So as soon as we're going, our brain's like, oh, pew pew pew. Hey, I must be happy. I'm making that happy sound.
No way. Okay. I've heard that with smiling, and I used to do that when I was stressed. I had really little kids, and I remember like doing the dishes and being really resentful, and then I just smiled, and then it was like, why do I feel bad? Like it's like you can't hold the like, I'm pissed off that I'm scrubbing dried oatmeal off of this. And then you go like this, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know if it maybe because it was funny, like, I hate scrubbing dried oatmeal. Was it just funny because of the juxtaposition that I was actually mad? It reminds me of, there's a meme of a dog sitting at a table. It's a cartoon, and he's like, has a cup of coffee. This is fine. Everything is fine. And the house behind him is on fire. Like he's sitting in a house that's ablaze. But, is that just funny to us that we're butting two things up against each other that are opposites? Because I am not an easy laugh. I can appreciate that things are funny, but it takes a lot for me to laugh out loud. And just last night, I was at a show that just really weird energy. And sometimes funny things would happen, sometimes they wouldn't, but I wanted to be supportive. So I would kind of fake a laugh. And I know that they've done studies that adults are better at picking out fake laughs than children are. That children, when they give them test samples, kids think it's all the same. But adults can tell when you're like, ha, 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 ha. Like, that's not a real laugh. Like, we get experience in telling if it's genuine. So in my laughing, I wanted to be supportive, but I had the thought, can they tell that I'm faking this? So that's interesting that we would be able to tell that it's not real, but our brains can't tell
our
the
own
difference?
Body. Right, because it's electrical chemical process.
Okay.
right? It's a frequency.
So I should
that's
fake
it.
laugh because it's for me.
It's for you. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I would go to a comedy club now and just be laughing there. I'm going to get kicked out. They're like, ma'am, nobody can hear the joke.
Well, it's almost like, ma'am, stop doing drugs. It's like you just like laughing by yourself is like you lighting up a joint in the middle of it. Sorry, you can't do that in here. It's like you can do these drugs here. In fact, we would like you to do a lot of drugs. That was something Jimmy Carr said, is that comedy is like drug dealing, but the drugs are on the people when they come in. Because the oxytocin, like so many of the really addictive drugs that we have, like opiates, are synthetic versions of oxytocin, I think. Don't quote me on this. It was a long time ago that I learned this. Okay, my brain is remembering that, okay? So yeah, it's your job as the audience to get them to do their own drugs, basically.
Right? We're in charge of our own pharma. We're secreting the love drugs or the stress chemicals.
Yes, exactly. This is one of the things I talk about all the time, is about fantasizing. That so many people talk about anxiety, panic attacks, rumination. Before I go to bed, oh, my mind is just racing with all the things. I'm like, go to Portugal. If you can make anything in this story spinning machine, why would you replay a conversation that went poorly and you wish you would have done this? Why doom fantasize about if I lost my job and then what would I do? We think that it's going to keep us safe, but like with the laughter, we get all the chemicals from it. I love going to sleep. And even if it takes me a long time to get to sleep, it's like, no, this is great. Where do I want to go today? Okay, I'm in the south of France. Oh, I love this like warm, like you can go anywhere in your mind. Why would you go to that conversation that you had with your boss?
Why would you try to solve all the world's problems, right?
Boo. Yeah. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Let's have some fun.
Stop
Okay,
it.
so it starts kind of physiologically to get that going. But then does it become hilarious throughout it, or
It
is
does.
it just okay, awesome. I'm
It
totally
does.
gonna do this. She has a class, by the way. If you all are listening to this, obviously you're listening to this. I'm like, how would this be transmitted other than I'm sorry. This wig is tight. I'm like, I love wigs. I'm an hour into wearing this thing and I'm like, this is squeezing my head. But okay. All right. I'm going to be vulnerable right here. One of the things, this is what I wanted to ask you. What is something that consistently makes you laugh? I'll give you a second to think about it. But to me, it always makes me laugh when someone's wig comes off. When somebody, like, especially on accident, if it gets knocked off. There's something about a wig being knocked off that will never cease to be funny. If somebody's carrying a mannequin that has a wig and they like bump up against something and the wig falls off, just it always works for me. I can't believe that I'm living my best life. Okay, I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm starting to get a headache from that wig. I'm sorry, Red Bob wig. You done me dirty. Okay, go. So I'm getting sidetracked with my question about what makes you laugh. Maybe we'll stay back on the subject. I'm all over the place. How does a laughter yoga class progress? So you start from the like, ha ha ho, hee hee, that, and then what happens? Somebody farts, and then it's hilarious, and now you're just like, yeah. If you want to walk me through it, because I want more people to come to this class that you do.
Yeah.
And I think if we let them know that it's like just like worms, not scary, totally normal, totally beneficial for you, how does it progress?
Yeah, so there's little games to inspire the laughter. There's deep diaphragmatic breathing. Some people bring in music because music is also changes our vibe. I'm one of those that brings in music.
Like Weird Al? Like what?
Oh, no, like a dance song, like some kind of a dance song. I'll
sorry.
usually
I was like, comedy song. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then there's just little imaginary things like, and this is a great one for if people are want to laugh, but there's no one to laugh with. You can just pull out your cell phone and pretend it doesn't even have to be on. Nobody will know, and just pretend like someone's saying something. So that cell phone laughter is one of the games. You don't actually pull out your cell phone. You're just like, okay, pull out your cell phone, and you're laughing, and you're gonna. Or pointing at yourself. You can just be like, point at yourself, laughing at yourself. Like I tell people, put your arms out in front, curl your fingers up. Now point your thumbs toward yourself and start laughing. They don't know they're going to laugh at themselves because they're following instructions. And then I go, okay, start laughing. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm laughing at myself. Because what we do, we make a mistake and then we're like, we beat ourselves up.
Yes.
Instead of that, what if we start going, whoops, I'm human. Here's one for driving. This is one that I made up and I love this one. So you're driving. If somebody cuts you off, it's not personal unless it's like, hey, there's Leah, let's get her. if somebody cuts you off, they were distracted or their lane ended, something happened. Okay. If you cut somebody off, you're looking in the mirror like, oh, sorry, at least in Canada, "Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
When
Definitely
somebody cuts
saying
me
sorry
off
over there.
right? When somebody cuts me off, I'm like, oh, time for laughter yoga. Instead of getting mad, like, I'm like flailing my arm. I'm driving. So the person's like, oh my, this chick's cuckoo.
Yeah.
And I get more
Yeah.
space. They're trying to get away from me, and I'm like, pew, 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 secreting all the love drugs. I'm fully oxygenated. I arrive at my destination. Oh, thanks for cutting me off. I feel so grateful.
Whoa. Okay. That very much lines up with Byron Katie stuff of loving what is. That you aren't at war with reality. So someone cutting you off and then going, what a jerk. You're at war with reality. You got cut off. You dropped a hammer on your foot. Whatever in Buddhism, they call it the second arrow. Like something happens to you that you didn't expect. Just pull out the arrow and move on. The second arrow is where you're like, oh, I can't believe he did that. Like you're extending your own suffering by your unwillingness to accept that whatever happened. And I never thought about taking like almost kind of faking a laughter or an excitement out of it. Do you see what I'm saying? That it's like something happens to you, and rather than that triggering a rage response, it triggers a time to laugh. Like I never went to that extreme. I've just lately been saying, when I say something about another person in my head, like what a jerk, I flip it and go, well, I'm a jerk too sometimes. Like I did, like it said as like empathy, but I like this even better. It's like jerk, beef, jerky. Like the idea of just going mental. I have friends that do that as a defense. Like my friends that live in New York City, when they are taking the subway and there's like a person, you feel unsafe. I know people who try to out crazy other crazy. If somebody's like, oh, then they're like, oh, what are you? And they're so like taken aback by it that they just move on. It's like they don't want to take advantage of you because you might be on something stronger or more powerful than they're. It's like speaking more towards someone who's seems to be violent or aggressive, that they might want to mug you or something. If you're like, oh, then they're like, oh, I just wanted to grab that person's wallet.
Yeah,
but
not that person.
You're so unpredictable. This could be way harder than I think it's going to be. So it's more that someone who's acting off and unpredictable, you out unpredict them by doing something like, so with that guy, it's a way of avoiding conflict. In the way that dogs sneeze, have you noticed that they do that to like show that they're not, it's kind of like, I'm not going to hurt you. When I would play with my in-laws' dogs and I would get rough with them and they'd like, I'm having fun. I'm not growling at you. Or when they put their butt towards you as a way of being like, if you show your teeth, that's like, I'm aggressive. If you shake your booty at them, they're like, oh, this guy's not a threat.
Right.
Like he's not trying to eat me. He's trying to delight me. That is so interesting. So that's what you do in traffic when you get cut off in traffic.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
What's your go-to? What comes immediately to your mind when somebody does that? Is it you can't put both hands in the air.
I flail. One hand's, I'm safe. One hand's on the wheel and the other arm's flailing around as if I'm giving them the finger or like, shaking like I'm mad, but I'm laughing. But they can't hear me laughing. My tongue's out.
Okay, so you stick your tongue out.
That's great for my like for here. If you do there's this great one like lion laughter is you put your paws up and you stick your tongue out as far as you can. It's great if you're a speaker. And I work a lot with seniors because seniors often, if they've had a stroke or they have cognitive issues, they sometimes will aspirate on their food or drink. They might choke on it. So this lion laughter helps to strengthen this area.
Interesting. Oh my goodness. I am learning so much about
life,
and the physiological, because when you shared what you do when you're cut off in traffic, I of course started thinking, okay, what's going to be my go-to? Because I find when I'm enraged, it's hard for me to grab words. So in a minor way, I've invented my own, what I call rage scat. So when I get upset, I just make up words. So with my kids, I'm like, but I'm yelling at them in a weird made up conglomeration of different syllables as a way of, I don't want to say words that I'll take back. I don't want to say swear words at them or call them names, but I am upset. So I don't think that helps. I don't think I'm getting oxytocin from that. I think that's firmly in the cortisol epinephrine department. So I'm like, what am I going to do when somebody cuts me off in traffic? The first thing that came to my mind is the Eagles fight song, because I live in Philadelphia. Go Birds. So I could like, fly, Eagles, fly. Like, because I don't know if I'm brave enough to go, like... Am I brave enough to do that? I'm really. I mean,
Try
I
it.
I live in a city that boasts a 27% decrease in shootings last year. Now we're in about 850 shootings per year. So I'm like, am I gonna get shot if someone's like, and I'm like,
That's one city?
Yeah, that's
Is that one
Philadelphia.
city? Oh my gosh.
2022, there were over 2,000 shootings. It was like
Oh my
2,200.
gosh.
Yeah. So I'm like, this sounds great. And then I could see myself on
maybe
Crystal
not then.
Columbus be like, I'm like, if they think I'm
I forgot
making
about the
fun
gun
of them.
part.
Yeah. Sorry, Canada.
Yeah,
And then
I
if you
forgot
do
about
get
that.
shot, we don't have health care. So it's like
Right.
double trouble.
Oh. Okay, well, be
So-
mindful of that.
Yeah, that's why I think that's probably why I went to Fly Eagle Fly, because that is a universally loved within the city. In fact, the thing that you would say like at a game, or instead of Go Eagles, we would say Go Birds. People use that as a greeting. And I've seen it diffuse things, like someone comes in to drop off packets and they're like, yeah, go ahead and, at my old job, and okay, sign for this. Yeah. And we go, thanks, Go Birds. And they go, oh, Go Birds. Like it kind of makes them present. So that's a non-controversial thing that I could sing to make myself happy that wouldn't get me shot. But sticking out my tongue might, because we're not in friendly Canada where they say sorry. Nobody's going to say sorry. But I love that. Okay, well, I'm going to do your laughter yoga class. I have to figure out a time to do it. Is it just for adults? Can kids come to
No.
these online classes? Seniors can come to it?
Absolutely. It's family friendly. We're celebrating 6 years. I started in June of 2020. So for you and your listeners, it's Tuesday mornings, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. 30 minutes of super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping, brain gym, qigong. And I'm averaging 25 to 30 little Zoom squares, and 4 or 5 of those are groups. So community living, long-term care.
That is lovely.
It's so beautiful. And I have students come. Sometimes I have whole classrooms come. It's weird for them because, it's laughing for no reason. But if they can do it, like
But it is for a reason. Like, that's what's crazy is that there's benefits to it, even if you're not really laughing.
And nobody's OD'd from laughing too much.
So seniors can do it. Children can do it. Anybody 9 Eastern Standard Time or
9:30.
Eastern 9:30. Sorry, 9:30.
9:30.
And this is Eastern
Time, whatever it is.
Okay,
right
it
now.
converts it. Okay, it converts it. That's great. And then your worm stuff,
Of
Worm
course.
Lady, Worm.
I
what is
I actually have a sprout business too, so I have 3 websites, and I do a lot of school workshops. So it's cathy'scomposters.com for worms, cathysprouters.com for sprouts that we didn't talk about. I was going to have cathy'slaughter.com, but when you put S in front of laughter, you get slaughter.
Oh, very different
club.
vibes. Yeah. So what
The
did you
worms
call
could
it?
just cathysclub.com.
Cathy's Club. Okay. .com.
Yeah.
Not .ca. You were like,
No,
I got to
just went with
penetrate that
.com.
U.S. market. We're sending our trash over there. We got to balance it out and send something good over
Send
there.
some giggles too. And I'm a laughter teacher as well. I do teach leaders. It's a 2-day training, and it's the most fun course you're ever going to take. And some people take it just to learn the history of the laughter and the benefits. And then others take it so that they can then lead laughter club, either, at their work or start a laughter club or something.
That's so cool. Like, you are the gift that keeps on giving. You, like your worms, surface, but all these layers underneath of nutritious goodness, nutrient dense, life sustaining stuff coming from you, Cathy. You are a worm. You're a red wiggler.
I'll take
wigglers? A red wiggler. So that's like the book Superworm. That's a red wiggler, that guy with his swollen band, which still
clit.
feels gross to say. Yeah, it's like neither one sounds good.
No.
So it's clitorum? Is that what you said?
Clitoris.
Clitorum or swollen band. Those are so gross. No, I'm not going to body shame a worm on here. No, this is an open-hearted, all 5 hearts open, loving space for creepy crawlies. I do think the European night crawler sounds like it would be my jam. It seems like a fancier worm.
Right.
It seems kind of emo. It feels more Tim Burton.
Right.
Red Wigglers
exactly.
seem like they're out to have a good time. European night crawlers seem like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, they're serious.
Yeah,
They're
goth.
bigger too.
Oh, okay, yeah. They sound goth. I'm going to look them up after this. And I'm going to look you up and sign up for your laughter class.
Oh,
Cathy,
I look forward.
you've been a delight. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, I'm so glad you said yes after saying no.
Yes. Oh, I felt badly about that. Okay, just in case I keep this in here, Cathy and I met on Podmatch, and she sent me a message. I'd had a lot of requests recently, and I was like, worms, I don't know, like right now, do I get comedians on? And so I just passed. And then she sent me a message and was like, oh, shoot, I really wanted to be on. I'm like, you're in. You have a personality. I get so many AI generated things and people just wanting to pitch their stuff. And I was like, no, I can tell she's a good hang. I looked into her stuff and I was like, yeah, someone that has this many, you're a multi-hyphenate. And that's what I like. I like people who are comedians, but they also paint, or someone who's a microbiologist that runs a cycling club and also plays canasta. I like using the different parts of your brain, using different skills. So the fact that you had worms laughing and now sprouts, or sprouts, as you would say, that is sprouts for our American listeners. Yeah, Cathy, I might even have you back again because I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface.
I know.
Worms, but you're okay with that. Okay, I'm sorry for the dad jokes. Can I blame the wig? I'm just now getting the oxygen back to my head.
I love them.
Thank you, Red Wig, for sticking around for a little bit of this. And that will conclude our little chat. Thank you again, Cathy.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you for listening to the Leah Renee podcast. If you'd like to help me grow the old-fashioned way, without having to bow to the likes of social media, visit my website, leahrenee.co. And as always,
Go to bed early, you doofus.